Hi everyone, Jacqueline here. So today, this is our project. So I moved all my containers of miscellaneous petunias and geraniums over here by the shed to give it some color. Now the shed is still very plain. We've got the bees up on the top there, but we've got plants, a gnome hiding in the corner, and of course a few things that need to be cleaned up. But I'm thinking that these plants can probably give us one more set of blooms over the next 2 or 3 weeks, and then it's time to prepare for fall decorating. And this year I want to attack this shed and give it some pizzazz. But right now I want to clean these up to get a couple of weeks worth of blooms, because I'm going to need to get some plants and some different things to design this shed. I want to throw some paint on it to give it some color, and I have a nifty little project up my sleeve if we can get our act together and get it ready to go to start on it and shoot the video and show you what I'm doing. I think it'll be cool and it will really class up this shed. But for now, this shed is decorated with plants and petunias and some raspberries here. So I'm going to cut these all back. We're going to water them in and give them some fertilizer and get one set of blooms off while I prepare for the big project to give this shed some pizzazz. So when it comes to sheds, this is not a she said. This is not a she shed. She shed, she shed. This is a shed that we use. We use it all the time. In fact, both my sheds we use. In fact, I'm going to do a video for both of the sheds, just so you know. So lots of shed videos coming. And quite honestly, I really want to take it to the next level. And I'm not much for doing the she shed because I live in zone 3 in Saskatchewan, and quite honestly, I wouldn't use it in the winter because it's just too darn cold. Minus 40 Celsius, too cold to be out in a little shed. Plus insulating, adding water, and all those extra costs. I don't feel I get the use out of it when I have a nice warm house to do everything I want to do in. So anyhow, I'm just going to use it in the summer, and I'm going to decorate it up, and we're going to do something for this shed for fall to make it very cool. And I'll show you here that after I painted it and everything, Rob came through and fixed some cracks. So there are touch-ups that need to be done on this shed. And although the green is very monochromatic, that's exactly what it is, monochromatic. Plus, this is my zone here. We have eaves troughs that we need to get rid of. I've been setting my containers there, and all the grass we've taken out for redesigning the beds is here, and I have to get that rotor tilled in because I will reuse that soil. So this area is under a bit of a cleanup as well. And I am taking some trees down over here because I want to allow more light into the garden area. But anyhow, let's focus on the project at hand. And we're going to clean these petunias and all these plants up and get them ready for another set of blooms. And then I'll take some photos and I can put it on my community tab and show you what things are really looking like. So we're going to start here at the back, and we're going to work forward, and we're going to prune these all back. And then I'm going to give them a feeding of fish fertilizer, actually, because that's what I got in the backyard. I have my Miracle Grow in the front, and I keep my fish fertilizer in the back right now. I always keep one container of fertilizer in a different half of the garden so it's easy to grab. So all I'm going to do this time is I'm going to use my trusty pail to collect the flowers, because you can see they're really overgrown and they need a huge pruning. And then I'm just going to use scissors and cut them all back and get them cleaned up. So let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to give 2 shots of this concentrated liquid fish fertilizer into my water jug, and I'm going to do all these plants. I'll have to use more than 1 jug, but that will get the job done. Rob is filling my jugs for me so that I have them, And I've already added fish fertilizer to those, so you're just filling them up, and we'll get these fertilized and give them a good soaking. These pots here aren't that dry, but the ones really over by the corner of the shed are. All right, some things I want to show you. So this is my border along Matilda's cottage garden, and I grew Statice from seed, and you can see how pretty it is in here amongst the roses, the catmint. The white really stands out because it's getting dark, and the dahlias are really slow. They're just starting to bloom here in this bed. But you can see between the colors of the petunias that I grew from seed, the waterfall mix, and then the Statice, they are a really nice combination together. And I'm going to cut some of these and take them inside. And of course you can dry them. Now, they were really hard to leave alone because to me they look like a weed growing. And I wanted to pull them out. I had to remind myself that, this is the Statice I grew from seed, and I would grow it again. So easy to grow from seed, started inside, and the colors are pastels in the purples, lavenders, and shades of pink. And you can see how pretty that is. You can see how pretty that is up front here in the border with the petunias. And then we have another dahlia here just starting to bloom. It's kind of where we're at with the dahlias. They're all just starting to show their heads. The orange dahlias that I added late are super tall, and this looks like it is a yellow. Of course, I always go with mixed, so you can see here what that looks like. That's pretty. These are larger than the rest of them, but that's okay. We can make do with that, and you can kind of see how the cottage garden is filling in. These are the limelights I planted last year, and you can see all the petunias. So it's coming along. I'm pulling it together, and it's starting to look good here. But the petunias, they were a win. Look at that waterfall mix. Now I've cut them back already once, and you can see the hummingbird moth. Maybe I can get him on camera here. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? He was right here. You watch, I'll move the camera and he'll pop out. He's in the petunias here. I lost him. Anyhow, they have been fierce this year, and I love watching them just as much as the hummingbirds. But the limelight, see, this is first season, fully in the ground, and you can see how beautiful they are. Amazing. All right, let's go show you the plants that I cut back and how they're doing in the front garden before we lose more light. And by the way, this waterfall mix is really bright at dusk. It really stands out. You can see here on the video, because we're losing light, how ultraviolet they are in the garden. So here are the containers that I cut back, and I cut them back hard, and you can see the color we're getting now. And I really like that color combo in there with the magentas, the corals, the snapdragons, the pinks. What a kaleidoscope of color. Here is the next one. This one's under a tree. It doesn't seem to bother it at all, this arrangement. And you can see the way petunias are doing their job. Now I have a bag of mulch sitting here that got on sale for $2. I need to put out in the garden. Mosquitoes are hitting me. This one here, the bubblegum petunia, has stolen the show finally. I wanted to see what one plant would do in a container mixed with waves, and you can see what it does. The lantana can't keep up in there. And then this view right here is really, really pretty with that, just that pop of an orangey yellow in there. But looking good. And then finally, the last container on this list is all about the yellow petunias, which stand out. Geraniums, I need to pick them back. Haven't gotten to that. And then you can see how they look. That's what they look like from the street. So that's how they're looking in the driveway, and that's from when I cut them back with you guys. The canna is just finishing again, but look at the color. Look at how these petunias stand out in this arrangement. We've got all sorts of pops of color there. And I'm just going to step through, and here's some of the yarrows that are in here in this bed. All right, window boxes. We cut the window boxes back pretty darn hard, and there they are. And I'll probably have to water them in the morning. They're probably due for a bit of water. They're self-watering pots. But look at the color on them. Same thing over here. A little bit different. You don't see the coleus in this one like you do the other one, but just the same. It's quite pretty. And then you can see the hydrangeas all in a row, still blooming their heads off and looking good. Oh, and one more thing I want to show you guys. Champagne bearded iris has made its appearance for fall. Man, that's a reliable iris. I just love it. I just can't bring myself to cut it because it only comes up with one stalk of blooms on it, but there's multiple buds on it. But isn't that pretty? And the phlox is finishing here. So that's the end of this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.